Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. I do not hate silver. Let's explore. You know, those are words that I never thought I would have to express on a channel about precious metals. You know, there's a reason why I chose the name Salivate Metal. Number one is because I enjoy many different kinds of metals. I didn't want to peg myself down into just silver. But make no mistake, by and large, this is a silver community. Although through my years here in this community, I have seen some changes for sure. And recently, I've started to see more people, including myself, make a move towards gold and accumulating more gold. And we have to ask ourselves why that is the case. And I think there's several reasons why. But one thing about what I do on this channel is I try to be realistic about the precious metals as much as possible. I certainly have made my share of mistakes in bringing information to you or perceptions, especially with predictions. I've been wrong many times about predictions. But one thing I try to make a caveat in terms of my predictions is that I don't take them very seriously because really it's just a guess. We don't have a crystal ball. No one has a crystal ball. No one can predict the future unless you have some inside information that could lead you in that direction. I don't know of anybody in this community that does, but there's been way more people out there that I've seen that have been able to make predictions more accurately than I. But one thing I do pride myself on is not making assumptions about where the metal should be down the road because of one thing or another. In other words, I try to keep a realistic view on all precious metals. And sadly, that may come across as me being bearish on silver, especially considering how silver has performed over the past years since really this channel started. It's kind of gone in a downward trajectory. And I think that is part and parcel as to why some folks in the community have moved towards gold, and honestly, why I have moved towards gold as well. But the overall sentiment is that there is not as much love for silver out there as there once was. People feel like they have gotten burned on it because of some of the hype surrounding it, because of promises and where silver should be, and including myself thinking that silver should have been somewhere where it's not. I still think it should be higher than it is now, but we have to come to the reality that silver is viewed in a different light these days than it was in the past. But that does not take away from the actual properties of what silver is, and its potential in terms of where it could be down the road, considering the history of the gold to silver ratio and the perception that it has had in the past could return. There's a potential for that to happen, but with each year that goes by that it doesn't perform, especially recently, it becomes a little less likely, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. My whole argument with silver is that we should not put our hopes into something that could be. We have to deal with the reality of what is with regards to silver. And it doesn't mean that we have to base our premise off of any particular point in time that the silver price was at one level. And I'll give you a for instance on this, and it really is going to require a video subject on the matter, but I do have one, and I have a real example of this situation, but I'm saving it for a rainy day, and it's sunny outside right now. And so, but essentially, it's about putting all of your eggs into one proverbial basket. We've always heard the case to not do that. The basket could drop, and you've got a bunch of eggs that are broken. And that is kind of the premise of what that saying is about. And so when you have people that buy a whole bunch of something, anything, on when it's high, well, they're setting themselves up for disaster. And that's exactly what has happened in some cases in this community. People buy the metal when it's really high, when everybody's talking about it, and then the price goes down dramatically over the course of months. And then they get burnt out and they feel jaded and they sell at a loss. And then they have this horrible taste in their mouth for this bright, shiny metal that you see before you here. Well, that's never a smart way to invest in anything. And certainly not a smart way to invest in something that's not an investment. That's right. And that is the message that I always like to talk about and to impress upon my viewers, is that silver should not be seen as an investment. Although what you are looking at before you is a collection of what some would consider investment grade silver as well as bullion. And that is the how versatile the metal can be even in and of itself, as you can buy it in the form of bullion bars that hold a very small premium over spot price, or you can get highly collectible pieces here that you don't know what they're going to do in the secondary market down the road. But with limited mintage, there's a potential possibility that they could increase in value, or they could completely tank. But as a collector, many of us aren't really motivated by that aspect of it. We just accumulate it because they're beautiful and they help fulfill the satisfaction of collecting itself. So, but nonetheless, the metal itself, the silver, atomic number 47 there, we accumulate it because it is seen as a hedge against economic instability and a preserver of wealth over the course of many years. And sometimes, especially nowadays, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take many years for us to realize that preservation of wealth in due course. And it also preserves your wealth based off of how you buy the metal. And that's really what it's about, folks. It's about dollar cost averaging. And not just buying, not just for the sake of the term, because I don't believe in dollar cost averaging just the dollar cost average. I'm talking about dollar cost averaging in a smart way that you purchase. So in other words, you buy more silver when the prices are low, and you buy much, much less of it when the prices are high. In other words, you do keep buying, but you dollar cost average out so that when you buy more, when the prices are lower, you are preserving your wealth, offsetting the higher prices you pay for when the prices go up. Why do I say to buy when the prices are high? Well, because you never know. The prices could keep going even higher. That is something that could lead to the susceptibility of the fear of missing out. And you don't want to buy strictly on that measure, but you want to keep it in mind that there is a possibility that the prices could go higher. Well, when the prices are low, then you buy more, but the prices could go even lower. You have to go in with that understanding that the prices could dip low. And in that regard, you have to take a look at the history of what the silver price was in the past. And in other words, we saw during the month of March of 2020, the actual spot price of silver went below $12. Well, none of us could find silver for that price anywhere near that price. In fact, we'd be lucky to find it for $20 an ounce at that price because of increased premiums. However, it is a fact that it's not been at $11 in a long, long, long time, which means that if you could find silver for any price anywhere near that, well, your best bet is to pick it up at that price because you know you're getting a bargain compared to the historic prices in the past. And that's the kind of thing. It's buying smart, and it's buying with the realization that the silver to gold ratio, we may be seeing the new normal with the gold to silver ratio well above 90 to 1. Who knows? We just don't know. And so my thing is that it's a matter of just being realistic about the metal itself. And you can still love the metal. In fact, I posted a video I will put in the end screen in this at the end of this video called Why I Love Silver. And I think that outlines it really, and I do. I still love the metal because it is what it is. The metal itself has no agenda. It's people behind it that do. And I want to try to cut through that as much as I can on this channel, behind the agenda. I have a preference for it. I love the collector pieces as well as some of the bullion pieces out there. But the metal itself speaks for itself. Silver really, in a sense, sells itself based off of well over 100 years of charting history. Well, if you look into that account, you can find plenty of times where it does preserve your wealth. And even if it's not doing so at any particular point in time, doesn't mean it won't in the future. And if you dollar cost average, you more than likely will preserve your wealth over a stretch of time. And that's what it's about, folks. It's about preserving your wealth against an ever deflating dollar year in by year. And so that's why we accumulate the metal. And we should not view it as an investment for the metal itself. And I think as long as we keep a realistic view on silver, we don't have to hate it. And we don't have to be jaded when the price goes one way or the other. You know, it's about understanding. And that's what I hope to do. That's my goal on this channel. I know I still have work to do in that regards. But it is about providing the hope, but the realism in terms of accumulation of this wonderful metal silver that you see before you. I would encourage you not to give up on silver, but I also encourage folks to diversify into gold, as I have done since 2017. But even before 2017, I was accumulating gold as well, too, because, you know, you don't want to put all of your eggs into one basket. I actually kind of hate that analogy, but I can't think of anything else that would further describe this. But there you go, folks. So as you see more videos of mine that I publish that talks in what you would consider to be a negative light towards silver, I hope you refer back to this video to see that I don't hate silver. I just want to be realistic because I think it would be a disservice to the viewers if I overemphasized its performance or speculated on manipulation or other factors that silver should rise to some ridiculous price point. So I hope this video was helpful to you in understanding my view and the fact that I do not hate silver. In fact, I love it. Check out that video on the end screen of this to find out more. I want to encourage you to post your thoughts below about this lovely metal and what are your feelings about it. And I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and I encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.